Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate. If you're new here, I like to talk about luxury handbags, shoes, accessories, all sorts of things like that. If you're into that kind of thing, feel free to subscribe and come join our little luxury family that we have here. We would love to have you. So I've been on TikTok a lot lately, and I've been on like luxury TikTok, not like luxury lifestyle TikTok, but like handbag TikTok. Like we are talking about Hermes leathers, like the in-depth, the handbag lover TikTok is what I'm on. And that means following the storyline of Tanner Leatherstein and TheRealReal. And that kind of sparked me wanting to do a video about TheRealReal. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, just to talk about the risks that you run purchasing from TheRealReal, share some other videos with you all that you probably want to take a look at before you purchase from TheRealReal, and really just talk about why people don't trust TheRealReal. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share some tips for if you do choose to purchase from TheRealReal, what you should do, how you should get your bags authenticated, all of that type of stuff I will share at the end. Okay, so first of all, this Tanner Leatherstein thing. If you haven't seen Tanner's channel, it's all about deconstructing handbags, designer handbags, and seeing how much they're actually worth. So Tanner is a leather expert and shares a bunch of knowledge and talks about designer bags and their quality. So he did a teaser for a video on an Hermes Evelyn because he was going to deconstruct the bag, talk about the quality. And in that teaser video, he mentioned that the bag was Togo leather, and a lot of people just ate him up in the comments and were like, that is Clemence leather, how do you not know? So he probably trusted the experts at TheRealReal to tell him what type of leather it was. I'm not a leather expert, but I search designer bags all day, pre-loved market, I'm on it all the time, and I have a hard time telling Togo from Clemence a lot of times. And I have a very good example of that if you want to see. So this is my amazing Birkin 30. I love this bag. It is well worn in, it has marks on it, the corners have been repainted. I think it really can be labeled as a true workhorse bag at this point. I ordered this bag from Rebag on Christmas Day, and it was listed as a black Birkin 30 in Togo leather. Now, when I first got the bag, when I was looking at the pictures even, I was like, this kind of looks like Clemence leather, but they're the experts. It probably is Togo leather. They're probably right. So even when I got it in the mail, I was like, still kind of looks like Clemence leather to me, but I could see how maybe it could be Togo. But I took it out today because I was going to talk about how close Clemence and Togo can look. This up here. So I see that there's some veining in it, which makes me think maybe it is Togo. But also I could see how this could be Clemence leather, and I will post some up close pictures. This looks a lot like my Clemence Birkin 35 that I used to have, and I think that it might be Clemence, but I reached out to Rebag just to see. I also did an Instagram poll, so I'm trying to see what other people think. I searched the pre-loved market all day, and the whole Clemence versus Togo thing is kind of hard for me still. So basically, everybody was saying this is Clemence leather. He reached out to Hermes to see if they ever made that bag in Togo leather, and the response seemed like it implied that they used to make the bag in Togo leather, which I believe that they did, because I've seen it in Togo before, where you can see the veining and everything. And then in the end, he decided to return the bag to TheRealReal since the description was incorrect. Now, in these videos where he's talking about TheRealReal, the comments are just TheRealReal sells fakes. TheRealReal has fakes. Why would you buy from TheRealReal? It's fake. They sell a ton of fakes. They don't authenticate anything. All of these comments saying how terrible TheRealReal is with authentication. So I opened up the can of worms, which is searching YouTube and searching TikTok of TheRealReal sold me a fake. And there's just so much. The thing that got me is that there's a few videos from channels that I watch consistently talking about how TheRealReal sold them a fake. So it's not just random people that I've never heard of. It's literally people whose channels I watch, and I'm like, oh, they've been sold a fake by TheRealReal. Now, it's not like this is news to me. I saw the CNBC video that happened a few years ago. They did a two-part video, I think, on TheRealReal. I'm gonna link it down below. Basically, they talked to some of their authenticators or some people that used to work there, their copywriters. They all basically said that TheRealReal gets a lot of fakes through, and they were not surprised at all by people receiving fakes. There was the whole lawsuit with Chanel. It's known that TheRealReal is not the best at authenticating items, so I know that. Like I said, to be honest, I don't really think that the Togo versus Clemence thing is the big deal, but I do see a ton of incorrectly labeled and incorrectly described bags on TheRealReal. For example, there's the Chanel small classic flap. This is a medium. By the picture you can tell that it's a medium, by the dimensions you can tell that it's a medium. It's labeled as a small. That's a pretty big error. The small and the medium classic flap look pretty different, especially if you're authenticating handbags, and I don't really get that. I've also seen Chanel models on there that are incorrectly named. It says that it's one Chanel bag, but it's actually a different Chanel bag. I've seen a lot of things that make me worry about the descriptions of these products, and from what that CNBC video said, the copywriters who are making those descriptions are also the ones that are doing some of this authenticating, so it's not always experts authenticating the bags, and some items it seemed like weren't getting authenticated at all. Now, one video that I'm talking about from a YouTuber that I watch is Classics with a Quirk. She did a video about how she received a YSL card holder that was like one of her like dream items. It was like a wish list item, and she received it, and then things started not adding up and she realized that it was fake, unfortunately. Same thing with Bargain Hunting Blonde. She bought a Givenchy Antigona bag like way back when. I think she said 2016 is when she bought it, and then she went to go sell it to Fashion File. Fashion File said that this doesn't look right, and then she ended up returning it to TheRealReal, and where they said that it was authentic, even though she had it checked out by other authenticators too, saying that it was fake, TheRealReal said that they thought they found it authentic and they relisted it on the website. And I've seen multiple people say that they've been relisting on the website after you return a bag or an item that you think is fake or that has been authenticated again by someone else and determined to be fake. I also watched another video by Kathiana. So she bought a Tory Burch bag from TheRealReal and ended up realizing that it was fake. And then there's just tons of them on TikTok too. I watched a ton before I decided to make this video, just because I want people to be careful. So I feel like the more people that see this and the more people that understand what they're getting themselves into by purchasing from TheRealReal, the better. Now, the other thing is that TheRealReal seems a bit desperate. One thing that I will say is that anytime that I have submitted anything saying that like, oh, I want to get a shipping label for something, they will call you just repeatedly, like call after call after call, email after email, text messages, all of it until you send them that item. So they have a huge amount of inventory. I would say way more than a company like Fashion File does. And Fashion File does what I think is a great job of authenticating. I haven't heard horror stories from them, but I know that they do a good job of authenticating. And I know that they have a lot of items on their site, but it's still like somewhat limited. It's not the way that TheRealReal is. Like TheRealReal has some of everything. Like they will sell anything. And that's part of the problem, because a lot of people were saying, how do you have time to authenticate all of these items? How do you possibly have time? And the answer apparently is that they probably don't. So I don't know, allegedly. Which leads me to something else that I want to talk about, which is their financials. I am not going to do like a whole thing about their financials, but I think that you should go and watch Anthropology Consumption Commentary. There is a really good video about their financials, and I'm going to link it down below so you can go watch it after this one. It's just really well put together. But the gist of things is that TheRealReal doesn't seem to be doing all that well financially. I'm reading right now from an article from businessoffashion.com, which I'll link below as well. This is an article that was put out in February of this year about TheRealReal doing layoffs. So last year they announced that they were on track to be profitable by 2024, and in the past year its shares have lost more than 80% of their value. So TheRealReal is not yet profitable, and to be honest, it's just not looking good for them. When they did those layoffs back in February, they laid off about 7% of the people that worked there, and they closed their San Francisco and Chicago stores. The article says that those were their 2 flagship stores, and then they also closed 2 additional stores in Atlanta and Austin. So like that's a pretty big deal for a company to close 4 of their stores, to lay off 7% of their staff, and to be accused of selling bags that are allegedly fake. Now, if you know all of this and you still choose to buy from TheRealReal, I'm not judging you, because I buy from TheRealReal too. I just sent off 5 pairs of shoes to them to go sell. Usually I will sell shoes to them if I know that nobody else will take them, if I know that they're not in good enough condition for Rebag or Fashion File. And I also don't want to deal with selling on eBay anymore. Like I had a really bad experience with a buyer on eBay, and I don't want to go through it again. Eventually, like I won the dispute that they were trying to do, but it was just a pain. It made me feel bad, and like I just don't do the eBay sales anymore. I just can't do it. And so if I want something quick and easy, I will ship my items off to TheRealReal. They can handle it and give me whatever site credit they want to give me, because they're shoes that I was just going to keep and not wear anyway. So anything that is like that, I will sell to them. I would never sell a high priced item to them, because I just don't know what's going to happen to it. So I've heard that people have given their items to TheRealReal to sell, and that TheRealReal has lost them. And I just would not want that to happen to a very expensive bag. I just don't think I could take it. Now, I used to be really comfortable buying shoes and buying clothes from TheRealReal, because I figure that there are not as many fakes out there of clothes. But I don't think that that's really true. I think that there's a lot of fakes of everything nowadays, and the fakes are just getting better and better and better like every year. So now I know that I'm only okay with buying like a couple things from TheRealReal. It's as odd as it might seem, I'm okay with buying a Birkin or a Kelly or like an Hermes bag from the RealReal. And you might say, okay, those are really high priced bags. Why would you take that risk? Because I know where to get them authenticated. I can send the pictures to Baba Bebi, pay for authentication service, and feel a peace of mind because most of the bags are real. Like, as much as people want to say like, oh, the RealReal only sells fakes, they sell a bunch of fakes, most of their items on the website are real. You just have to be really careful, and it's really, really hard to tell a super fake from a real bag in just like a picture, and they don't do very good pictures at the RealReal. So it's really hard to tell a lot of the times. But if you have somebody who's a trusted authenticator, that makes things a lot better because you can just go and get your bag authenticated, feel a lot better about it, and then you're good to go. And you also get a really good deal because the RealReal with these prices on the Birkins and the Kellys, oh, they got some good prices. I purchased my Birkin 25 from them for an amazing price. I'll put it on the screen because I don't feel like standing up right now to go get it. But I had it authenticated by Baba Bebi, was super happy with the process. It was really easy and really, really fast, by the way, too. So I just felt peace of mind knowing that the bag was authenticated by another person. Now, I'm not against buying Chanel bags from the RealReal if you're going to absolutely 100% get them authenticated. I think that, to me at least, Chanel is the hardest for me to tell a fake versus a real bag. Hermes is a little bit easier for me, and Chanel, I cannot get it. I'm not good enough to authenticate like Louis Vuitton and stuff like that. I just don't know as much about the brand. Hermes, I'm good with. I feel like I could determine a real from a fake, but also I'm gonna need that other opinion, so I need to still get it authenticated. With Chanel, I'm not good with that. So if I were to purchase a Chanel bag from the RealReal, I would send it to leather surgeons. I actually reached out to them because I was thinking about it before this whole thing, like a couple weeks ago. I was thinking about possibly maybe buying a Chanel bag from the RealReal, and I was like, okay, what are my options for authenticity check? So I reached out to leather surgeons because it says authentication on their website as one of their services. So I reached out to them and I asked about doing their authentication service, and they said that basically you send them pictures and then you send the bag to them after they take a look at the pictures, and then they'll send it back to you. So I think that that would be totally worth it. The other thing that they mentioned that I did not know is that they don't authenticate the new Chanel bags that have the chip. I've heard somewhere else, I can't remember where, that the ones with the chip are actually harder to authenticate than the ones that don't have the chip, that they have the sticker. So I've heard that it's even harder to do the newer ones, and they just don't do those. So be careful with that if you buy a bag that is like new from the RealReal. There's probably other authenticators that do it. I'm sure that there are. I just don't know them. If you know some, let me know in the comments, because if you get something from the RealReal, you have to get it authenticated. Like, there's no, oh, I can do it myself. Like, it's fine. I know that it's real. Like, I trust it. No, don't trust it. You need to get it authenticated by another party. Those are my main suggestions for shopping with the RealReal. It's literally just to get it authenticated. Other than that, like with clothing and accessories and shoes, I just don't trust them anymore. Like, I just don't think that I want to shop there anymore for those items. If I don't have a trusted source to authenticate something, or if it's not worth paying to get it authenticated, like if I buy a pair of shoes, it's like $75, like, and then the authentication for somebody to do it is like $75, like, I'm not buying it. And that's really sad, to be honest. Like, I feel bad because that was one of the first luxury sites that I shopped on. I think it says that I've been a member since 2013. I've purchased a lot of things from them, not a lot of bags. I've only purchased like 2 bags from them, I think, ever. But I bought a lot of shoes from them, and it just makes me feel like uneasy knowing how many people got fakes. And with shoes, like, I feel like it's hard to authenticate shoes too, and it's hard to find somebody who authenticates shoes. So I don't know. I'm really disappointed is the thing. Like, it's not like I'm upset, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. And to see other people who are in the luxury community, whose videos I tend to watch, whose TikToks I tend to watch, also getting hurt by the RealReal, it's really sad. It's like upsetting, and I don't know. I just want to be able to trust these luxury resellers, and it's kind of hard. It doesn't help that the fakes are getting better and better. It's getting scarier to shop pre-loved, and I'm starting to get a little bit more worried about it. And I've started to browse more of the regular designer sites, and I never buy anything new. Like, I barely ever buy any bags brand new. I love the older bags, the bags that are broken in a little bit, because I know that I'll wear them more often. It's just sad because I do kind of want to start shopping just directly with the boutique, and I don't like going into luxury stores. Like, standing in a line that's like wrapped around the side of the store to get in is just not a luxury experience to me. Like, I don't want to do it. I'd rather buy online and have the savings from buying pre-loved, but it's just scary at this point, and I really don't want to buy a fake. I've never been scared of buying pre-loved before, and I just am getting there now. I talked about in my other video the super fakes and how Fashion File's been doing those videos comparing super fakes to real bags. It's scary to me. They did not used to be this good. I do still trust Fashion File. It's just that I know, I feel like at some point the fakes are gonna get so good that just it can get past anybody. I don't know. I don't know what the future of pre-loved designer bags holds, but yeah. Mainly just wanted to caution you about shopping at The RealReal, and if you are gonna do it anyway, because anytime I have my mind made up on something, I'm gonna do it anyway. But if you're gonna do it anyway, get your bags authenticated. Don't try to skip that step. Get them authenticated. It is absolutely worth it. I think I paid like $125 to authenticate my Birkin 25, and for a bag that is that high priced, $125 to authenticate it, I needed that. Yes, that is, I will take it any day. But yeah, that's all that I have. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this one. Bye guys!